Well, it's really good to be recording this video fresh from my second vaccination and looking forward to the restrictions being lifted next Monday. Now, I hope that this year, as you have been watching us closely as a church family, you will have seen clearly our commitment to do good, our desire to please God, and the decisions that we have made as a leadership team in coping with COVID-19. All the way through, we have wanted to submit to the authorities properly. We've wanted to protect people's health. But along with that, we have been deeply concerned to steer Christians away from an unhealthy fear of illness and death. After all, Jesus' death and resurrection guarantees our eternal security. So we've wanted to steer people away from unhealthy fear of illness and of death. But also we've been determined to do what is spiritually best for the people in our church and the people in our community. And you as a church family, well, by God's grace and through His Spirit at work in you and among you, well, you've responded wonderfully, supportively, encouragingly. You have engaged with YouTube and Zoom. You've been prepared to travel to the Beverley Barn for services last summer. You've been happy to meet in two different services in the community centre. You've been content to change the morning service to a Zoom service. You've been supportive of our afternoon physical gatherings as a church, even when many other churches weren't meeting together. We've adapted to masks, to seating plans, to having children in whole services. We've held back from singing inside. We've sang outside. We've held online evangelistic events, and you've shared evangelistic videos with your friends and your family who you want to come to know the Lord, to come to know the same peace that we have in the face of death. The church family has taken part in a walking treasure hunt. We've had many telephone conversations and doorstep chats with one another. We've started to pray regularly together online. And the videos that have been produced aimed primarily at kids have been enjoyed by the whole church family. They've been wonderful. You see, through the difficulties of this year, God has continued to bless us as His word has gone out. As we have sat underneath His word and sought to obey it and sought to proclaim it to one another and to the people around us. God has continued to help us to love Him and to love one another. In fact, I think He has grown us in that love as we've had to treat one another with more care and more concern than ever before. Our God wins, and He will continue to do so. And so as we approach the 19th of July and the removal of many of the legal restrictions, our principles for making decisions that we have used all this year, well, they still apply. Submission to the authorities, that has been very important. But it has only been one of the parts of this framework that we have used to work out the best way forward. Therefore, following the 19th, we as a local church family, we're not going to abandon all of the patterns that we have established all at once just because it's legal to do so. Now, we desire and we're praying that when the new term begins on September the 12th, we're praying that then we may well be able to gather together without restriction, able to sing together, sit beside each other, eat food, enjoy refreshments together after the services like we used to do and like is proper to do. So we're praying really that the new term after the summer holidays is the time when hopefully we're going to enjoy all of those things together depending on circumstances. But leading up to that point, well, look, we want to continue to both protect people's physical health as best as we can, but whilst promoting spiritual health, which is of paramount importance. We want to both be sensible in reacting to the numbers of COVID cases in our area, as well as good at loving one another and bearing with one another's points of view. So, on the 25th of July, the first Sunday after restrictions are lifted, we're going to have an outdoor family communion service in the playground at Parkstone. Being outside will give us the freedom to meet without masks, the freedom to sing together, as a congregation spaced well apart. And afterwards, we would love it if you would bring your own picnic, and we can enjoy spending some time together outside. And then we can get some practice in for the summer in the park activities, which actually begin the following week, when we're going to hopefully ask a load of people to come to Princess Elizabeth playing fields and picnic with us and play games with us. And then on the 1st of August, so that'll be our first Sunday back in the hall after restrictions have lifted, well, we're going to meet in the school hall. We're going to continue to set chairs out socially distanced from one another, and we're going to continue to ask you to wear masks as you enter, as you move around the hall, especially as you have conversations with others in the church family indoors. We want you to wear masks for all those things. When you're sitting down and the service has begun, you'll be free to take your mask off if you want to. And I, for one, will really enjoy seeing people's full faces again as I preach. The structure of the meeting on the 1st of August, that will remain the same as what we have got used to over the past 6 weeks or so. An indoor song near the beginning, and then 2 outdoor songs at the end. But here's the difference. If you would like to sing along with the indoor song on the 1st of August, you can. Praise God. But we would ask you that you only do that if you have your mask on. So we will be able to take these first tentative steps to singing together inside. Again, we've enjoyed singing outside. We're going to keep doing that. But we'll be able to take these tentative steps to singing together inside again. And as we go through August, we hope to do more singing inside. We hope to take more steps towards our normal pattern of corporate worship. But we're going to take those steps carefully. We're going to take all current circumstances into account. And we're going to listen to the church family. And we're going to consistently come before God in prayer to ask Him for the wisdom to do the thing right as we proceed. Well, I hope this is both helpful and clear. I hope in your head at least you have confidence as to what the next 2 Sundays at Parkstone will look like on the 25th and the 1st. I hope these arrangements will allow you to be excited about the coming months as we meet as a church family. But what I would ask you is please get in touch with one of the leadership team if you have any suggestions or if you have any questions that you would like to ask. And most importantly, because gathering together is so important, because it's a command of God that we do it, please don't just stay quiet and avoid coming. No, instead talk through any concerns. God has provided everything we've needed this year so far. Of course He will continue to provide everything we need as we go forward. He says in Romans 8, He who did not spare His own Son, but gave Him up for us all, how will He not graciously along with Him give us all things? So please don't stay quiet and stay at home and watch YouTube. Please, we need to meet. We're told to meet. We're commanded to gather. So please talk, raise your concerns, and God will give us what we need to live obediently to Him, and what we need to seek to encourage and continue to build up our local church family. Thank you so much for watching this, and I really am excited about hearing from you in the weeks to come. Thank you.